You're born into ice, not metaphorically, literally. Your first breath is Arctic air that could crack glass. Your first home is made of frozen water. And your culture, it expects you to sleep with your husband's guests as an act of hospitality. You heard that right. While other cultures offer guests tea or a spare bedroom, your tradition says, here's my wife for the night, like you're a complimentary mint on a pillow. And no, you don't get a say. It's tradition, it's respect, it's building community bonds. Cool. Sounds like community bonds built on your body without your input. But sure, let's call it culture. Because being a woman is already a full-time job. But being an Eskimo woman, that's a full-time job in minus 40 degrees, where you're expected to smile through frostbite, raise children in an igloo, and serve as a living, breathing welcome mat for visitors. Before you're old enough to understand what that means, you're already working yourself to exhaustion. By 10, you're not playing. You're training for survival. You're sewing animal skins with stitches so perfect that 1 week seam means death. Not yours, someone else's. Because if that parka tears on the ice, they freeze. So no pressure, but your needlework is literally life or death. Then comes marriage, arranged. Not always, but often enough that your opinion is more suggestion than requirement. You're paired with a hunter because that's practical. Love, bonus feature. And once you're married, that hospitality tradition becomes your reality. Your husband offers guests food, shelter, and you. Resist? You're disrespecting tradition. So you comply, you smile, you perform. And nobody calls it what it is. And while you're dealing with that, there's still the small matter of surviving. The cold is personal. It's an active threat trying to kill you every single day. You step outside and your nostrils freeze shut. Your eyelashes freeze together. Your breath becomes ice crystals clinging to your face like a punishing mask. You're not living in the cold. You're negotiating with it and losing. You think raising kids in this frozen hell is the hard part? That's just the beginning. You have children because that's what you do, and you love them fiercely. But pregnancy in the Arctic is terrifying. Medical care is limited or non-existent. If something goes wrong, you're on your own. And once those children are here, you carry a different kind of terror. Because Indigenous women go missing at rates nobody wants to talk about. The statistics vary by region, but they're all horrifying. And when it happens, police shrug. Investigations stall. Your face doesn't make the news. There's no Amber Alert, no widespread search, just silence. And here's what they don't tell you about coping. When the pain becomes too much, when the isolation and the poverty piles up, where do you turn? Substance abuse rates in Inuit communities are through the roof. Not because you're weak, but because you're trying to numb unbearable pain in a place with zero mental health resources. You're self-medicating because there's no therapist within 500 miles. Just you, the cold, and whatever helps you forget for a few hours. And people judge you for it. They call it a problem with Indigenous communities, like it's your fault. Like you weren't systematically traumatized for generations. Like residential schools didn't exist. Like your grandparents weren't beaten for speaking their own language. Like the government didn't actively try to erase your entire culture and then act surprised when the survivors are struggling. But the erasure doesn't stop with schools. Your language is dying. Your grandmother spoke it fluently. Your mother speaks some. You speak less. Your children barely speak it at all. Because English is what's taught in schools. English is what gets you jobs. English is survival. And every word you lose feels like another piece of yourself disappearing into the snow. Want to hear something that'll make your blood boil? You go to a clinic, if there even is one within 200 miles, and suddenly you're not a patient. You're a problem, a statistic. Doctors look at you like you're a cultural curiosity instead of a human being with actual health needs. And here's the part they don't put in the documentaries. For decades, Indigenous women were forcibly sterilized by the Canadian government. No consent, no explanation. You'd go in for a routine procedure and wake up unable to have children. They decided your womb wasn't yours to control. They decided your bloodline should end. And when you found out, nobody apologized. Nobody faced consequences. They just moved on. Even now, medical care is a gamble. You're misdiagnosed, dismissed, told your pain isn't real. You're treated like your life is somehow worth less because you live in the Arctic. And somehow, you're still expected to just live, to work, You're processing food constantly, smoking fish for days, drying caribou, fermenting seal like artisan kombucha. Except if you mess up, everyone you love starves during the 8-month winter. And when traditional hunting fails, you can't afford groceries. A gallon of milk costs $15 because everything has to be flown in. But you also can't hunt traditionally anymore. Climate change is destroying migration patterns. Regulations restrict what you can catch. So you're stuck between starvation and bankruptcy. And here's the thing that should be international news but isn't. Your home is melting, literally. Climate change is destroying the ice you've lived on for thousands of years. Your culture is dying in real time, and white people are writing think pieces about how sad it is. You know what's sad? That you never got a choice in any of this. Meanwhile, tourists show up with cameras. They take photos of you like you're a zoo exhibit. They romanticize your simple life while you're freezing and exhausted. Documentaries praise your resilience while ignoring that you're surviving despite them, not because of some noble savage fantasy. But you want to escape this, right? Good luck with that. Education is supposed to be the escape. Leave for school, get opportunities, build a new life. But leaving means abandoning your community, your language, your identity. Stay? You're stuck in the same cycle. You're damned if you do, frozen if you don't. Some women leave anyway. They go to cities, get jobs, build new lives, and they're called sellouts. Meanwhile, men who leave for work are praised for providing. The double standard is Arctic-sized. And after all this, you know what they have the audacity to say? You're told you're the backbone of your society, the reason anyone survives at all. And it's true. Without you, everything collapses. But being essential doesn't mean being valued. It means you're trapped, can't leave, can't rest, can't stop. Because if you do, people die. And still, you survive. You wake up in the frozen dark. You do the work. You raise the children. You maintain the culture that both sustains and confines you. You adapt. You endure. You carry the weight of generations on your back while walking on ice that could crack at any moment. Because that's what Eskimo women do. You don't just survive the Arctic. You make life possible in it. You're stronger than the ice, tougher than the cold, more resilient than anyone gives you credit for. You're a miracle of human endurance wrapped in sealskin and exhaustion. But it still sucks, and you're allowed to say that. You're allowed to be proud of your heritage and exhausted by it. You're allowed to love your culture and resent the parts that treated you like property. You're not a museum exhibit. You're not a romantic ideal of traditional life. You're a human being trying to exist in one of the harshest places on Earth while carrying burdens that would break anyone else. And you deserve better than being someone's idea of hospitality.